Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the Grand Trunk Western set from Lionel from 1970 with the 8042 locomotive. 1970 was the first year for the MPC era. A lot of Lionel collectors will refer to that as the dark era. MPC did some interesting things with Lionel after they acquired them. Most collectors will tell you that they were questionable at best. All right, let's get started. Okay, so now just a brief history about Grand Trunk Western. Grand Trunk Western was a subsidiary or a part of Grand Trunk Railway. Grand Trunk Western was named because it was the western portion, which would have served the Michigan and Chicago, that general area. I'll throw up a map here of their service area. Grand Trunk Western was the last commercial railroad to offer steam locomotive passenger service, and I believe in March of 1960 they made their very last run. It was so popular that they had to pull another steam engine out and do two because the popularity was just too high for just one steam engine. So it was a final hurrah for the steam engines for Grand Trunk Western. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. This is the Lionel 8042 Grand Trunk Western set. The Lionel 8042 was included with other sets, but this just so happens to be the Grand Trunk Western set. I was a little disappointed that I did some research, and as far as I can tell, Grand Trunk Western never had an 8042, but that's a little beside the point. So possibly related to that statement, this was made in 1970. That was the first of what's known as the MPC era. MPC was a subsidiary of General Mills. General Mills, the cereal company. Yes, you got that right. I mean, amongst other things, obviously. But this was one of their first attempts after acquiring Lionel. The 8042, the locomotive, is actually fairly nice. The good things about it is it is cast. It's quite heavy. It's quite nice. It's still fairly nicely detailed. It's got a lot of nice features, a lot of nice shiny parts. What's not so great about it is that they use the cheaper Lionel Scout power plant for it, and a lot of collectors didn't like that just right off the bat. MPC has kind of a reputation of being not great. I will tell you that this 1970 iteration is quite a bit better than some of the other offerings from MPC that followed. I did a little little decorating here. I like to make up stories about what's happening here. Apparently we cleared a forest or something, and that's that. And over here I could only find one of the one of the canisters, so we included a Volkswagen Bug. Yes, okay. And then over here we have Tomater. Y'all either like or hate probably Tomater. I don't know. I kind of like them myself. Pixar, yes, go. Then of course the Grand Trunk Western caboose that we showed the other day in the caboose video, which is actually what inspired this video. So these are actually not that bad, and I'm fixing to show you why. So I'm fixing to make a statement that's not going to be terribly popular. As a matter of fact, it may get me booed and hissed off of YouTube, but I'm actually happy. I'm thrilled that General Mills bought out Lionel. And before you boo me, before you cancel your membership to my page or whatever, I'll tell you why. Had it not been for MPC acquiring Lionel, I probably wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. I probably wouldn't be showing you trains, because my great-grandfather worked for General Mills, and had it not been for him, I would not have gotten this on my, I would think about 12th Christmas. And so I am thankful that MPC came along and did that, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be in the model train world. So okay, this is another MPC offering. This is from later. This is from 1970 to 73, I believe. MPC did a lot of things that people just simply in the model train world just couldn't much tolerate. Now the engine itself is pretty much the same as the 8042, except for it's plastic. Now the good things about it is, you know, it's brightly colored green and the gold and the black. It's really, really sharp. I have no complaints whatsoever about the locomotive. Now the rolling stock, on the other hand, that leaves a lot to be desired. Now this wasn't true in 1970. The Grand Trunk Western set that I just showed you, it wasn't like this. So this, wait a minute. So this would have been, for instance, your flat car that would have come with the Grand Trunk Western. You see the metal rivets, and you know, and it's not that wobbly of a car. Now, by 1973, they'd come up with this plastic insert thing that this is horrible. I mean, this is why people don't like the MPC era. And believe it or not, those metal rivets, they make just a ton of difference in the weight of the car and the stability of the car. This thing is horrible. This thing, I mean, it tipped around, tipped over. It just wasn't great. And for a little kid that wants to put stuff on there, it just wasn't much fun. Now, the good part is, at 11, 12 years old, I didn't know the difference. But, you know, if you have a hopper like this, you know, hoppers are kind of top heavy to start with, then you do this plastic garbage on the bottom. Man, collectors just, I mean, whoo, they did not like that. So, all right, enough about all that. So anyway, this Grand Trunk Western set, I was really happy when I got this. I didn't actually know it was from the MPC era when I got it. I actually bought it because when I first got back into the model railroading, I didn't appreciate the plastic locomotives. And when I saw that this one was cast, well, I just kind of had to have it. Anyway, who wants to put both of these guys on the track, run them around? Because I know that's why you watch my videos. I mean, it's not for this, right? All right, let's go to the train room. Let's do it. Let's do what you guys want to do. Okay, so as I alluded to in one of our last videos, we don't ever just take these guys off the shelf and run them. We always service them before we run them for you guys. Noticed last time we ran it that the bulb was burnt out. Unfortunately, this is the MPC era, and what a funky little bulb. I don't have one of those, so I guess we're going to run it without a headlight. But anyway, there's the smoke unit. Didn't even know it had a smoke unit. All right. Anyway, we're going to get back to work. Just wanted to assure you guys that we do take care of our stuff. Okay, so I guess if we're going to point out the bad, we should point out the good too. It does have a traction tire. That's kind of impressive. The 8032 has no such thing, and which would explain why it pulls almost nothing. Although, you know, this one is quite a bit heavier because it's the metal. All right. Okay, so here we have the 8402 Grand Trunk Western set running on the wide radius track, and then we have the 3502 running on the smaller loop over there, the green guy. Once again, these are both from the MPC era. That's one of the reasons we decided to run them together. Besides, what's better than one train? Two. So, all right, if you've watched my videos before, you know how this is going to work. We're going to do kind of the aerial view, and then we will move, and we're going to do the really cool view where you see it on the ground. And most everybody seems to like that. Use my little tripod action here, trying to get you guys where you can see the best. Now, I failed to mention during my intro that Grand Trunk became Canadian National, which is the red car behind the green locomotive. I will show you that in a minute. All right, let's move over to the larger track, and then we're going to go to the ground level. And I'll get you guys dizzy if I can help it. You know, I used to send train videos to my coworkers, and they complained it made them dizzy. I have to zoom out just a little bit more. Apparently, it's a pretty wide radius track. All right, looking good. You know, I had stopped doing the aerial view for one of the videos, and somebody said they enjoyed it, so we include them again now. All right, so who's ready for the ground shots? Do it. Do you see how wobbly and unstable those later MPC cars are? Look at that hopper wobble. All right, everybody, I think this is about it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed seeing these two MPC era locomotives running around. Once again, this was the Grand Trunk Western set, along with the Southern set, the 8302 that I got as a child. A lot of people don't like the MPC era, and once again, I told you some of the reasons why. There are other reasons. Quality did suffer greatly. So I'm sure that there were some better offerings, and perhaps these just aren't some of them. On the other hand, though, my 8302 Southern set, I mean, 40 some odd years later, it's still going and it's still looking okay. So I mean, I guess what are you going to argue about with that? Quality or not. Now, having said that, if I loaded anything in that Canadian National hopper at all, it would it would tip over, as opposed to this 1970 model, the Grand Trunk Western. Anyway, that's beside the point. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed the video, which if you're still here, I assume that you probably did, give it a like. If you're not yet a subscriber, why not? For our returning subscribers, thank you guys. We appreciate you very, very much. We could not do this without you. We think of you guys like family. We appreciate your camaraderie, your comments, your suggestions. Once again, we just simply could not do this without you. All right, with no further ado, I'm going to let these trains run just a few more minutes, and I'm not going to talk, because I know you guys like it when when you get to see the trains and not hear a bunch of talking. I can relate to that. All right, everybody. Until next time, GGS Railways out.